Hello, guys. Welcome to the process and welcome my guests Dante Jones and Shantae Brown. We'll be right back. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the process. Shout out to my sponsors, CalZero.com and Sterile Education. And welcome to the show, How to Become a Sterile Processing Technician. Welcome, guys. And guys, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Shantae Brown, COO, co-owner, and lead instructor of Instrumental Sterile Processing Institute. I have been in the field for 12 years now, and I went to school for surgical technology, and SPD kind of took me in, and I've been doing it ever since.
Great. Thanks for coming on. And who's this guy up here?
Hi, everyone. My name is Dante Jones. Also a partner of Accepted Technical Solutions. Been in the healthcare industry for over 10 years. We offer a variety of different sterile processing classes, from virtual in classes and self-study. But I'm here to provide some gainful information on how to become a sterile processing technician.
Definitely. And thank you guys for coming on. So the topic today is very interesting one. I know a lot of persons in the field right now probably Googled, researched, YouTubed how to become a sterile processing technician before they got into the field. So this is one of the hot topics that everyone before they got into the field wanted to know. How do I become a sterile processing technician? And I feel that's a question that will help a lot of folks who want to give advice out to those persons who are interested in joining and just to get over the hump. So let's start with Shantae. So Shantae, if I'm looking for a course, right, and I need to start somewhere, how do I go about finding the right course for me?
Well, first I'll say is sterile processing is a that you don't normally know about. You've either somebody that's in the field, or you've seen one of us in the hospital if you work in another department, and you ask us, what do you do? So my first thing would be to say who you know sterile processing through, ask them. They would be first choice. And the best choice to ask, how do I come, how do I do with you what you do? How do I become a sterile processing tech? Outside of that, if they tell you I don't know or what have, I would have to say Google, LinkedIn, what else? Indeed. Just type in sterile processing, and I'm sure a bunch of different things will come up, and you probably could find it that way as well.
All right, Dante. How will somebody go about finding a course for them? And then we'll go into that a little further too. That's not the end yet. So how would somebody go into finding a course? I have no idea what's going on. As Shantae said, I met someone at the hospital and I'm interested. I heard a lot of music in Deacon Town. I want to do this thing. I want to play loud music in my apartment too. I want to, be able to take to walk outside, etc., which supposed to do. But I want to be able to experience what I deem is a successful career or potentially a successful career. How do I get into that? What I see looks exciting. They're bringing trays up and down the hallways. They're going to the OR. They have scrubs on, and I want to do that too. How do I go about finding a course to get started?
So I would say, like Shante said, you definitely want to use Google. It's the most powerful search engine on internet. So you want to Google sterile processing. Then you want to kind of like play around with some of these sources from from what you find from Google. So look at some articles, because once you Google sterile processing, you have articles that come up, you have websites that come up. So some of them you want to kind of filter out as far as like primary sources. So maybe look at something that's related to HSPA, CBSPD or something. After you type in sterile processing, so you kind of want to play around with the Google search engine. But as far as like taking a deeper dive, definitely want to look into like go into like YouTube, look at some YouTube videos. That way you can kind of get a basic concept from looking at different videos on YouTube. Like Shante said as well, LinkedIn, you kind of want to build a profile. If you want to have a profile with LinkedIn, build a profile, and then kind of like play with the hashtags, sterile processing, sterilization and stuff. That would kind of get you in the right direction as far as sterile processing content. Then as far as searching for stuff, type in sterile processing training courses near me or sterile processing training courses in your city and state. And that will kind of give you, different programs in your area and stuff.
Okay. All right. So I'm taking it from there. Both of y'all gave me the Google search, create a profile. So now I see 3, 4, 5 courses in front of me. How do I go about approaching them and finding out which one is the best, which one works? Should I do the online? Should I do the in-person? Do I look at the reviews? Does this person have a good reviews? No reviews? What red flags do I look for, and what do I need to know before I actually walk in the door or sign up for that online course? Shante.
Well, first, it depends on what type of learner are you. Are you a hands-on learner? Are you someone that pretty much can just be guided? Like, I have the book, I just need somebody to help me through it. Or are you somebody's like, just give me the book and a little outline and I can do it for myself? So that right there will tell you, of course, you're a person, you need an in-class course, a little direction, you probably want a virtual course. Want to change the book, I could do it myself. You want an online course. But it really depends on what type of learner you are, and also what type of time do you have. Are you someone that's not working and you have all the time in the world, or are you someone who's working and you work at night and you need day courses, or you work in the day, you need night courses, you work all week, you need a Saturday course. So you need to, kind of scale it down to see what you actually need. I personally am not someone who likes to look at reviews. One, it'll take you down a rabbit hole. And two, some bad reviews is just that one person's experience, but you're only getting it from their perspective, and it's kind of skewed a lot of times. Oh, they weren't trying to pay, that's why they, told them they had to leave the course, but they don't ever say that. So I personally don't look at reviews. You want to call the school or email or text, however you can get in touch with them and actually talk to someone. Actually come, like, we give information sessions. So you can talk to us. We usually do like a Zoom call, or you can come into the school. We do open houses, see if they're doing that, so that you can kind of get the vibe of maybe the teachers, and how the course will go, and how the owners are, just to see if you're a right fit for it. And then also you want to know, what do I need in order to be successful in this course? Do they offer externships? Do they offer job placement? Do they offer, from someone needs extra help throughout the course, do you offer that? So you kind of got to just buckle down and do the research. Like you said, you have 5, look at the 5. If 3 of them only offer, you're looking for a Saturday course, and 3 of them offer a Saturday course, you don't, you already knocked out too. You know what I mean? So you kind of just got to go by that. And then also price point. You got to do what fits in your pocket. There's one that you really want to go to and it's out of your pocket. See if they do financial aid. But you just kind of got to make it. You have to make it as personal to you as you can, but you got to know what you need, because not everybody knows what type of learner they do, and they just be like, well, they only offer virtual, so I'm gonna just do that. So you don't want to waste your money on a course, knowing that you need hands-on. They offer it, but it was the closest one to you, so you decided to do that. You know what I mean?
Definitely, I agree. You had some good points. Then I'll go into a couple of them after Dante goes. Dante, so I'm looking on Google, and I'm seeing 5 different names. They offer CRCST. Maybe some of them have additional certifications, and I want to know which one. How do I weed those 5 courses out?
So I'm a firm believer of reviews. So I kind of like to use reviews as part of my judgment for anything that I purchase, whether it's electronics or clothes or even like just dining out. I'm a firm believer of taking a look at reviews to see what is the feedback, what are people saying about this company. So I would definitely look at reviews and see what some of the feedback is. However, it wouldn't be my my main deciding point as far as what class I'm going to what program I'm going to choose from. But definitely I would use reviews. Look at the quality of the website. That also speaks volumes of the company. So look at the quality of the website. How is it put together? How's the layout? Is it user friendly? Or is someone accessible? Can I reach them through email? Can I reach them through phone? And how is the interaction going to be after I reach them? So if I reach out to the company, via email, are they responsive? Are they responding to my email within a timely fashion? So I mean, I take a lot of that. I take communication in consideration, reviews, but also the website again. I mean, once I go on the website, if the website is user friendly, what do they have on the website? Do they have courses that fit my need? What's the cost? Is it affordable? Do they have payment plans? Or is it out of my price range? And then what variation of courses do they have? Do they have virtual? Is it virtual, self-study, or is it, live instructor? So, I would, definitely take a deep dive into the program, but I first will make my decision if I'm going to move forward with seeking information based off the reviews and the quality of the website. Is definitely how I would base my decision on how we'll move forward.
Okay, all right, good points. And to
piggyback off of what he said.
Go on.
To back off what Dante said, also, like I said, a lot of times you hear about sterile processing through someone. So when you do get 5 or the 3 narrow down, ask that person that you say, oh no, don't go there, I've heard some bad things, or go there, I heard some really good things, or oh, I went there, or whatever. Like really this job, this career, this industry is really based on networking, and knowing that one person is your first networking thing. So you might want to just use them as a resource as well. So once you do the work and you do your Googles, I would go back to that person and hey, I came up with these. Have you ever heard of them? You might have heard of them. And then you can kind of go from there too.
Oh, true. I agree. Get it from the source. And you guys mentioned calling, emailing. What is your stance on actually meeting the instructor beforehand or actually in person if you're within the same state or the same city? What's your take on that? Is a phone call enough, or should you meet your instructor, talk to them, find out what kind of personality they are, what kind of teaching style they have? Should you do that, or is a phone call or email good enough?
Shantae first.
Shante?
I would say it depends on. I would say it's on you. Like, can you just talk to someone and kind of get a vibe, or do you really need to be in front of someone? Like me and Dom, my business partner. I'm more so of I can call you and have a good conversation with you and I'm good. He really likes to be around people to feel their energy. So it just depends on what type of person you are, I would say. I mean, either way, you could get the wrong thing, but it just depends on me. I don't need to be in front of someone in order to kind of get their vibe. Some people do. So it just depends on the type of person you are, in my opinion.
Interesting. What's your take, Dante?
Yeah, so that's a good question because we get literally hundreds of calls a week from students from like the tri-state area and from different parts of the United States. Some of the students ask that question, can I come in? Can I see where you guys teach at and stuff like that? I mean, we welcome them during the times that we're there for our in classes, but it varies. It depends on, like, me personally, I don't need to, like Shantae said, I don't need to physically be in the presence of someone to kind of capture the energy and the vibes of how they are and and everything. So it really depends on the individual, but like a lot of students that we've had and have currently, some of them want to come to the classes and stuff because they want to see it in person. They want to see, where you're teaching at, the location. Is it going to be an easy commute for them and everything? So it really depends on circumstances. But, me personally, I don't need to actually meet anyone, to kind of, understand who that person is.
Okay. Anybody want to give any more comments on trying to find the school? Shante, any more comments on how to find a
No.
proper course or school? And I know we spoke on you guys spoke on price. So what's a good price? Or how does someone who's looking determine price? Like, you have the money or you don't have the money, but you still want to get the most bang for your buck in terms of online courses versus in person. How would someone be able to gauge that? That just put yourself in a position you have no idea what it should cost. How would you go about trying to find that out? What's the best for you?
Well, one, you should find out what's included in that price. What are they giving you? Are they charging you $5,000, but you still have to buy the book? You know what I mean? So you want to know what's included in that price. This is a certificate program. You're not going to get an associate's. So, I mean, you really shouldn't be paying $10,000 for a sterile processing course, in my opinion, because you're not walking away with a degree. You're walking away with a certificate. So that's what I was just see what it's what the price is including, and just make your decision from there. Just like anything in the world that you're buying anything for, if you're buying tickets to a show, and it's a comedian that's local and the tickets are $300, you're gonna be like, but no, that shouldn't, I'm not paying that for that. You know what I mean? So it should be the same type deal. What is included in that price, and I would go from there.
Okay. All right, Dante. So how would someone who has no idea what the price is, what the price should be, how would they go about determining what's the best price for them to pay for a course?
So that's a good question. So kind of like what Shantae said. I mean, you got to really see what the programs have to offer, what's included in the price. Because like you said, some programs are just certificate only. Some are, associate degrees that you will get at the end of it. So you definitely have to see what the program has to offer and then kind of make a judgment off of that. Which, some of the things that you want to look for is, like she said, does the program include your books, your material for the class? Does it include assistance with an externship or job assistance? Does it include professional development, or some of those value adds that make it worth whatever that dollar amount is. You definitely want to seek that information, because you don't want to just, like you said, pay $10,000 for a certificate when there's other programs that are drastically less money, and you probably would get more out of it if you went that route. So definitely do your research and see what the program has to offer. If it's just a certificate program, if it's a degree program, and then you kind of make your decision off of that.
Great. Thank you. Now we're moving on to, you have acquired, or you selected a course, correct? You selected a course, you're going through it, and how do you, as a first-time learner, so most persons in courses are usually adults, they had first, second jobs, and they're trying to find a way out. They're trying to find something that will stick. So what do you recommend for someone coming into a class, online, virtual versus in person, trying to learn something they don't know anything about for the first time? Shante.
First and foremost, take it seriously. It has been a while since you've been in school. I know it does take a little bit for you to kind of get those skills back of making sure you read the material, you do the work, but take it seriously. You are spending money for it. This is an investment. This is something you said you want to do, so take it seriously and study. Many of my students, they're like, hey, yeah, they think they could just come and pay and pass. That's going to be okay. And it's like, no, that's not what this is. So make sure you're studying. You have to study. You can't just come to class and think you're going to pass it. And trust the process. We teach HSPA material. The first 5 chapters, you're going to be like, this is not what I thought this was. The first 5 chapters, you're definitely going to be like, am I in the right course? What is this? But trust the process, because you need the first 5 in order to know the rest of the book. So I would just say, take it seriously, study, and trust the process.
Definitely good points. I like the trust the process, but no pun intended. Dante, so yeah, I'm coming in here. I haven't been in school for a while. I've been in school for a while. I want to learn something new. I probably had a couple dead-end jobs. Now I'm trying something I think will stick, because I see a lot of people doing it. I think it's a good career. A lot of people recommended it. My uncle, my aunt, they're doing it. They're making good money, and I want to get into it. Now I'm in the class now. I want to be successful. What advice do you have for someone who's coming in, probably hasn't been in school for a while, but wants to be successful in the sterile processing process?
So what we like to emphasize is, like Shante said, and your company, your brand, trusting the process. But we have a slogan of our own that that we state that we will match your energy, but we won't do it for you. So we'll match your energy, but we won't do it for you. Pretty much states that if you're going to take it seriously, if you're going to put in the effort, put in the work, we're going to see you through the whole entire process. So a lot of our students are mid 30s, late 30s, 40s. We got people 50s, even in their 60s, who've taken our classes and who are in our classes. So, as older individuals, you got to kind of choose what type of method you want to approach as far as learning. But we like to stress the importance of reading the material. So, and that's for all across the boards, no matter what age bracket you're in, that you have to read the chapters. You can study the bold print and an italics print and everything, and the quizzes and the progress exams, because we teach HSPA as well. However, you have to read the chapters. So we like to also say that, give yourself at least an hour or 2 hours a day where it's quiet, on your lunch break, or there's somewhere where there's no noise, kids and stuff involved, where you can just focus, you can read your material, and then if you don't understand it, maybe, allot some time throughout your workday, maybe, or something where you can, revisit that material where you had the difficulties at. But we like to stress the importance of reading the chapters, because if you don't read the chapters, you can study the quizzes and everything, but we all know that HSPA, there's multiple quizzes and stuff. So, somebody may have
Mm-hmm.
test A, but two people down from you may have B and C and then A. So I mean, and they're weighted differently. So with that, in mind, you want to make sure that you fully understand the chapter. So you can't, you can't avoid reading the material. So we like to put a huge focal point on actually reading the material, and then everything else, will kind of fall into place.
So we have a viewer here who asks, "Is the class online?" Anyone of y'all want to take that?
You can go first, Shante.
Our online course will be launching soon. One thing that we did learn, because I thought online was just online, but there's a difference between virtual and online. So whenever anyone asks online, I like, do you mean like a study? Because that's what online is, or virtual. And I'm the virtual teacher as well. We do it through Zoom. So, some people think that's online, but online is usually a self-study, self-paced course. Ours will be launching in the next couple of weeks. But yes, we do offer virtual, and we will be offering online soon.
Yep, and just to piggyback off of Shante, so we offer the same platforms. We offer virtual, which is instructor led through Zoom, and then we also offer self study online. That we give the students access to our platform that we have all the material on and everything. They have 12 months of access from the day that they register. So if you register today, you have access until September 28th, 2023 for the self-study. But the virtual instructor-led class, we just started this past Saturday, and that's from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. That is 1 day a week for 16 weeks. And then then we move on to the other phases once you finish the class with us for the virtual instructor-led course. So we're still accepting registrations for that class up until Friday, because the first day for us is always like orientation, an icebreaker day for us. So we don't usually cover much on the first day.
Okay. And just a
Yes,
FYI tip.
our virtual. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Our virtual is Tuesday, Thursday evenings from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And it is about 4 months. It's like 13 weeks or something like that. And we are accepting registrants for that as well.
All right, all right, all right. So I hope that answers your question. All right, can I? Question again from the Facebook. Can I have the platform? So what platform is what platform is the online course on? I think that's what they're asking, whether it's Zoom or, that's what I'm thinking.
So the platform where we do the virtual class on is through Zoom. Where the material is housed on, as far as your quizzes and exams and videos and everything else that we include on on our online platform, that's a private platform that we own, so we don't advertise it. However, it's very similar to Blackboard and Canvas for people who have used other platforms for education, for higher education. I know a lot of institutions in secondary education places use like Blackboard or Canvas. So ours is very similar to that for our online platform.
All right. Oh, getting more, getting more questions. How can I register? So,
Well, you can
we
visit
basically
us
getting a
at
customer here. So,
US. Right, right.
go ahead.
You go, Chad.
You can visit us at ispy.us, or you could reach out to us via DM or email. But if you go to ispy.us, you'll get access to all of that, and you can schedule a free information session, and we can tell you more about what we offer, more about what sterile processing is, and any other questions you may have.
Yep. So yeah, ours is sterileprocessingtraining.com. So you can Google sterileprocessingtraining.com, or you can put it on your web browser. And we also have a contact us section of our website where you can send us an inquiry, or you can call us, and then we can set up an information session, whatever suits your needs as well.
All right, all right, all right. Viewer, hope that helps you out. Thank you for the questions. I definitely want to get that out because I know for every one person that asks a question, there are probably 10 others thinking the same thing. So, and then, I will segue, guys. Thank you to our sponsors, Cal Zero and Sterile Education. And guys, don't forget one thing. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell. Use your little pinky finger and hit that bell so that you'll be notified every time we have new content or new shows coming out. And by the way, if you're looking for a shoe that helps you walk away from contamination, we know you spend your entire shift on your feet and need a healthy shoe that can be easily decontaminated. All Cal Zero shoes are designed to keep you moving and can be machine washed and disinfected with bleach. Cal Zero, a new type of footwear that meets the changing needs of the medical environment, using an innovative copolymer rubber compound to create a product that is sterilizable, autoclavable, anti-static, and extremely comfortable for people standing long hours. Additionally, Cal Zero Classic can be sterilized using an autoclave at your facility in the sterile processing department. In business since 1983, Cal Zero is here to wash away your worries every step of the way. And their mission is to provide comfortable, easy to clean footwear made to treat your feet. So you get a number of different styles, combinations with the strap and the shoe, different colors. So guys, check out your calzero.com and get those shoes. And don't forget, coupon code the process so that you could get $17.99 off every pair of shoes you purchase. All right, guys. So let's move on. So I'm done with my course. I got all A's, a couple C's, maybe some B's in medical terminology, or maybe a D here and there. But I am, but I'm around 80% at the end, so I'm good. I'm happy. How do I go about getting an internship and possibly a job, landing a job after a successful completion of the course?
Well, actually, we offer externships to our in-person students. So they have that covered there. But as far as our virtual, and we started our online students, we will help them as much as we can. Externship. We have been lucky. A lot of our students have received jobs in the field without having to do their externship. So we will help our online and our virtual people as much as we can. The only thing is, virtual or online, it could be anywhere in the world, and sometimes our reach doesn't extend that far. So we will just help as much as possible. And one thing we do to make sure that we can set you up for success, that we pour into you professional development. We help you with resumes. We help you with what questions might be asked during an interview, what type of questions you ask during an interview. So we actually do pour into you with professional development so that you are top for success.
Dante?
So sorry. What's the question again? I'm sorry.
So I'm done with my course. I got a couple B's, a couple A's, maybe a D in medical terminology, and I'm ready to move on, right? I had my little graduation or big graduation, however you all look at it, and I'm excited. I want to get a job. How do I go about getting those 400 hours, guys? And you need 400 hours during your internship to become fully certified, if you didn't know that. So I'm trying to get my 400 hours and possibly land a job. How do I go about doing that? Give me some tips, some tricks, some advice. How do I go about doing that? Especially if my course does not include any type of assistance for internships.
Okay, so I'm just going to take it a step back and just go over what we offer, and then go into the alternative. So for us, all of our programs offer externship and job assistance. However, our classes are pass or fail classes by the final exam. So we kind of measure, your success based on your final exam, and then we also use your quizzes and progress exams as a baseline to see how you're doing throughout the class. To kind of have a conversation if some students are lacking, and if they're not doing too well through like chapter 6 through 9 or whatever the case may be. We can have those conversations to kind of help them get improve in those areas. But our courses are pass or fail courses based on the final. And then as far as the next step, so once you finish our class, if you're seeking externship or job assistance through us, you would have to pass your provisional certification, which you just stated you need 400 hours. So you have 6 months from the time you pass your provisional certification to obtain those 400 hours. So from there, we make it a priority to get you placed into a facility that will accept you for your hours, or employed, because we have affiliations and partners that we work with in the healthcare industry that takes our students once they finish the program. But the requirement for a lot of places we work with is to have that provisional certification, because that way they can transition from classroom hours and then certification right into employment a lot of times, because a lot of our hospitals and industry are suffering through staffing crisis. So a lot of our students that do well at the end during their externship, they transition right from a provisional student right into employment opportunities. So we make that a requirement for all of our students seeking externship assistance for the 400 hours. And if they live outside the scope of our tri-state area, what we do is we try to reach out to facilities in the area to kind of help them get placed into an externship that is closest to their home address. And a lot of times that works, especially because they have that provisional certification. And a lot of states, especially like some of the southern states, not to knock none of my southern states, but a lot of the southern states I've become to realize, in the states in the Midwest and everything, they will accept you with your provisional certification for employment a lot of times. So that has helped us in those arenas, because we do get students not only from the tri-state area, but we have students that are in the Midwest, down south, and on the West Coast as well.
Okay, Shante. So now, how do I conduct myself? I got my internship. How do I conduct myself during my internship or externship? How do I conduct myself to help me land that job? May not be in that immediate facility, but in another facility. How do I conduct myself as a student intern to land that job?
as a professional, because that's exactly what you are. This is why we have our students wear scrubs to class. We keep them in that professional mindset. You have to wear your scrubs to class, even virtual. I have to see that you have your scrubs on. You have to wear your bonnet. You have to wear your shoe covers. We keep you in that mindset because you're going to go out into the field, and this is how you need to carry. You want to yourself with respect, and you want to be willing to learn. Don't go in there, you know everything. Don't go, well, Miss Shantae said this is how this is supposed to go. Because we also tell them, look, this is how the book is. This is what the book is saying. But you might very well go into a decon that only has one sink and not three. So you can't go in there like, oh, it's wrong. We can't do anything because you don't have three sinks. So be willing to learn. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be scared that you're going to make a mistake, because then you're definitely going to make a mistake. And if you're not sure of anything, ask questions, because a lot of times when you think you know it, you might be really messed up, and you don't want to do that. You want to ask questions, and also you want to network. Get to know your department manager, your leads, and things of that nature. Because while you might not get a job there, they might can say, "Hey, they have this position open. You might be a good fit. She was a student here, and she did really well. She might want to come over there." And also, we use our graduations as their first networking event. Whoever we have speak, we make sure that it's somebody that is in the industry, and they kind of them, and we tell them throughout the course, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know what I mean? A lot of us have landed jobs where I didn't really know what I was doing, but because I knew this person, they gave me a chance. So networking is really, 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 really big. So when you're in there, ask questions. You're still a student. Ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Carry yourself and conduct yourself as a professional. And
Yeah, Dante, how do I go about conducting myself as a professional after landing an internship? I want to get that job, hopefully sooner than later. How do I conduct myself as a student in a professional environment?
So we have a pretty comprehensive approach to how we take it. So chapter 24 is professional development on the HSPA book. So during that day, we kind of have a day dedicated for professional development where we go over interviewing skills, what attire to wear, what not to wear, just professional mannerisms. So we review that with them for an entire day prior to moving on to the next phase, which would be them taking their exam and passing and everything. So we spend a day on professional development, getting them in that mindset and geared towards conducting themselves in a professional manner. Once they pass the provisional certification and they are prioritized to go into a facility, we then meet with them again to go over expectations. So we review, how they should conduct themselves the first day, what they should be wearing the first day, what they should be doing, where to go to, where to park. We kind of mirror our approach based on the facility where they're going to for for their externship. But we also want to reinforce just basic standard things they should be doing as far as making sure that they're punctual, on time, make sure that they're, not getting caught up in the grapevine talk, not, just and being on their phone, just breaking all the core values. So we want to make sure that, that they are ready for success. And that's by us, having that professional development day during the last chapter, and then once they pass the provisional certification, having that meeting with them as well, to kind of go over expectations, as far as how they should be conducting themselves, and then we also send them off with a like an externship packet on kind of like a roadmap on what to follow. So it kind of outlines what your first day going to be, what you should be doing, your hours, how you can calculate your hours and so forth. So we kind of take a comprehensive approach on that whole aspect.
Interesting. That's very good, very good. So I'm almost done my hours. I did about, maybe I'm at 350 or something, but I'm a few weeks away, and I need a job. I don't want to conduct myself, but what should I do to possibly, if there's an opening at the facility that I'm in right now, that I stand out for that position, or what steps do I take preparing to leave that position as an intern, branching out to look for another job? Any like particular advice you'd have for somebody like in the middle, like I'm about to leave and I'm not sure. Maybe the place I am right now is fully staffed and I have to go out on my own and find something. Like, how do I position myself to make it easier for me to land a job?
Well, one thing our students to do is to create LinkedIn profiles and get up on Indeed. I flood my students. We have a whole chat dedicated to us, just flooding them with different job opportunities. And I always say, I always try to get jobs they're qualified for. I don't want to that's saying they need 6 years of experience. Like, you don't want that. So we tell them what to look for in these job ads, how to apply. Like I said, we do their resumes with them for them, so that they can kind of beat the algorithm and get pushed to the head of the line. And also like I said, network. We strive networking. We tell them all the time, talk to someone. Once you, like I said, once you get into a facility, talk to other people. But I really rely on LinkedIn and Indeed, and that's what I tell them. Time to filter through, go through, and that sometimes it takes a long time. I don't know why, because like Dante said, there is like a staffing crisis in sterile processing, but applying for these jobs and getting the job is such a long time in between, and I don't know why. So I tell them to kind of just, trust the process, be patient, right job will come for you. I do have quite a few contacts, different places, so I will call who I know and say, hey, are you hiring? I have a student. I think they'll be good for you. But I pretty much tell them to do to, apply from pretty much when they're like kind of half. We do a progress report and we tell them where they're standing, what it's looking like. And if they're doing well, I tell them, okay, start applying, because by then I have given them resumes back. Start applying, because it's going to take a minute before you hear something. So start applying and getting your name out there as much as possible. So that's what I tell my students anyway.
All right, and Dante, in the middle, I'm almost done. How do I position myself to land that position or a position, some position? I want to get paid. How do I position myself to go out there and make some money?
Yeah, so part of the professional development aspect at the end of the program, we have an HR specialist who does their resumes and cover letters, and they're kind of tailored all the same, which is pretty cool. So they all kind of look alike, but of course they're tailored to their experiences and everything. So once they finish the program, they've gotten their resume and cover letters completed by HR specialists and everything, and then they've they pass a provisional certification. They're at the end of their hours. So what we usually do is we try to have them, of course, get employed there. So if they can, if there's openings there, they usually find employment at the facility that they're externing at. And then if they're not, if there's no opportunities there, then we kind of help them with their search as far as what to look for. Like Shantae said, we want to look at their requirements. Is it certification preferred, or is experience required at all? Does it say 0 to 6 months preferred experience, no experience, I know. So we kind of, filter out what opportunities would apply to them, and then send them, send them those opportunities. And then we have rosters for all of our classes from since 2017. So we kind of keep up with all of our students as far as where they're at in the industry, where they're going. So a lot of times, the places that they're doing an extern at, there's someone employed by there's someone there who took our class who's now employed at the facility. So a lot of times it's like, hey, how you doing? So and so. It's like, oh, you took ATS class. It's like, oh yeah, I took ATS class. Oh, they hire or whatnot. If if that conversation was already had by the preceptor and so on. So a lot of times it's referrals, at least in like the tri-state area for us, for employment opportunities. And then the other one, like I said before, we kind of filter out what opportunities would apply to them based on the experience and requirements on the job applications. And then we help them, when they're on their Indeed search, what keywords to put in. So Indeed, you can put sterile processing, you get a certain amount of sterile processing jobs. And then you can also put CPD, and you may get like computer stuff with sterile processing. So we kind of help them filter out what keywords to put, for their search engines, for their job sites, whether it's Indeed.com or Monster or whatever the case, whatever they use. We kind of help them navigate on what keywords to put to find those opportunities.
All right. Good information. I hope that those persons watching right now will be able to take some of this information and make it useful so that they could be successful and become sterile processing technicians. And this is definitely basically the blueprint on how to go through finding a course, getting through your course, and becoming a technician, becoming an intern technician, getting hired. So guys, I hope if you have any questions, just rewind the video. We basically covered everything you need to know on how to go from zero to getting paid, basically. Right? What do you think? Good? Yes?
Yeah. Good time. Thanks for having me.
So guys, I want you all to shout out your companies and let us know how to get in touch with you guys. If they're interested in a course, if they just want to find out about you, network with you guys, how would someone go about connecting with iSPI, and Aseptic Technical Solutions? Chante.
Like I said before, you can visit us at ispi.us. You can also follow us on Instagram at ISPI Camden. We're on Facebook. We're on all the socials. And you can get all of us at any one of those. Either talk to me, or talk to John, and we'll be possible.
Hold up, I'll give you a couple of seconds. Yeah, so what was your last sentence? How could they get in touch with you? You froze for a second.
ispi.us. Okay, 1 second.
All right. So Dante, how can people get in touch with Aseptic Technical Solutions if they're interested in just connecting with you guys or finding a course for themselves or someone who is interested?
So you can first Google us, Sterile Processing Training, find us that way, or you can again use your web browser or whatever you use. SterileProcessingTraining.com is our website. And it'll take you right to our homepage. And then you can send us an inquiry on the Contact Us section of our website. And then we're also on LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and everything else as well. Then you can also reach out to me personally on LinkedIn. if you have any information, if you have any inquiries, because we offer not only in classes, but we also offer our self studies virtual, and then we're trying to also get into CSP 101 programs with healthcare facilities. So we also offering that. So if you have any interest in that, please contact us whenever you can.
All right, all right. And I want to say thank you guys again. Thank you so much for taking the time out to come on here and share your knowledge with the folks, with the persons who are interested, with the persons who are in the business that are looking for tips, and the persons who have their own schools who are trying to make their programs a little bit better. So thank you guys so much. And don't forget, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. How do you do that? And shout out to my sponsors, calzero.com and Sterile Education. Download that app, guys, and get your shoes from calzero.com. The coupon code is the process, and you save $17.99 on every pair of shoes. So, guys, thank you for joining. Peace. We're out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.